Happy tax day. These are my views on paying a tax preparer versus using do-it-yourself software and my new experience in 2026 to temper my previous strong views on the topic. So I have not prepared my own household taxes for at least the last 25 years. In that one statement is the most important indicator of what I think about paying someone up to a few $1,000s per year versus using free or nearly free software to do it myself. I think anyone who owns real estate, has income from more than just a W-2, has investments, files taxes jointly, has dependents, should be willing to pay a tax preparer every year. But also, I have a new, very positive experience this year with free tax prep software that I'll mention at the end of this post. So when I say I have not dared to prepare my own household taxes for at least a quarter century, I want to clarify a few things. I have a medium complex tax situation, not just the simple W-2 of a 22-year-old single person, but also not highly convoluted either. I assume my tax preparer finds my situation quite simple to deal with in the grand scheme of things. I am not, as a general rule, in favor of overpaying for financial services. I think we should be wary, as a general rule, of paying too much for things we can handle ourselves. But I also believe, as a general rule, and I frequently advise others when anyone asks me about it, that paying $1,000 or more for a good tax preparer could save you $5,000 to $10,000 per year on average. Maybe not every year. Maybe some of the savings come in a lump, $50,000 one year from just being able to ask a tax professional a few key questions about your specific situation at a crucial moment. But I really think there is, on average, at least a 5x multiplier on paying someone else to do your taxes every year. And I'm not sure which year is going to be the $50,000 year, so I think it's wise to be ready for it starting whenever. Since I have been telling people, including clients, don't use tax software for more than a decade, I've gotten plenty of feedback from people who are do-it-yourselfers. As a rule, that type of person is very hard to persuade. I understand you are happy with your TurboTax or whatever. I understand you believe you are saving money by gathering all the information yourself and inputting it into your seemingly simple to use tax software. You've been doing it for more than a decade, and you are a highly competent adult. You can change a flat tire and check your oil level in your car. You grow things in your garden successfully. You can go on YouTube for explainers, and you even regrouted your bathroom tiles once, saving a bundle. Amazing. Congrats. Now, please don't do your own taxes. In the long run, I don't think you are actually saving money. You simply don't know what you don't know. I recently got happy feedback via text from a client, quote, thank you for telling me to get a tax preparer, OMG, she's going to redo my 2024 taxes also, end quote. A few other things about this note. This client is a sophisticated do-it-yourself financial person in many ways. It's just that there are big things we learn when we hire someone who really does know what they are doing. The US tax code is really not for amateurs. Also, she sent me a picture of the office of her tax preparer. I can tell from the picture that she didn't overpay for a tax prep person. This was not a Madison Avenue priced accountant. It's just a person who, I presume, knows how to ask the right questions of my client. Guess who never does their own taxes? Another way to think about this question is, do you know any wealthy people? Do they do their own taxes? You could ask them, but I'll save you the trouble. No, they do not do their own taxes. You might think that's because they're so rich, they can afford to be wasteful and lazy with their money. Maybe, but really that's the wrong assumption. Most wealthy people I've met are not lazy. They are not wasteful with their money. Many to most wealthy people are actually quite frugal with their money, which is highly correlated with them having and keeping a big surplus. Rather, another thing that correlates with their wealth is the wisdom to know that there are huge benefits to accurately arranging your affairs to comply with the US tax code in the most advantageous way. Only a professional can help you do that. Wealthy people hire tax preparers because it helps them stay wealthy. To the extent you have insisted on doing your taxes yourself every year, I would argue that you are complicit in keeping yourself not quite as wealthy as you could be. So the new twist, my reason for using tax prep software in 2026. I did prepare personal taxes for 2 people last month using the online Free Tax USA software. I did this because my 16-year-old and 20-year-old daughters both had taxable income in 2025, and I'm extraordinarily proud of them. I asked my accountant whether I should have him do their tax prep for me or have me do it, and he suggested I do it myself. That involved trying a financial thing I hadn't tried in 25 years. The reason I was willing to engage with free tax prep software for my daughters is precisely because I am price sensitive when it comes to financial services. I definitely do not want to overpay for something I can do myself. I do not pay for a financial advisor for myself, for example, even though most people probably should pay for a financial advisor for themselves. But I have skills and confidence in that realm. I have less confidence in the tax prep realm, as evidenced by the fact that I haven't done my own taxes in 25 years or more. But I didn't want to pay the extra $500 to $1,000 to my regular accountant for what I was hopeful would be a very, very simple tax filing. My 16-year-old made $2,500 in 2025, and my 20-year-old made $7,500. They own no property, they have no second income, nor do they have business ownership interests or side hustles. They have no taxable brokerage account. They are filing as single people, no charitable contributions, no deductible mortgage interest, just a single source of income, a summer job. That made them great candidates for free tax prep software. I somewhat randomly chose Free Tax USA, which I have subsequently gathered via online research. It was a great choice, and I highly recommend it. Federal taxes were absolutely free, pretty darn easy online, and was the work of less than an hour. I also filed Massachusetts taxes, which is where they earned their income, through Free Tax USA for each of them, which did cost $16 each case, but it was also pretty darn easy online. This does not change my view that grown-ass adults with some real estate and investments and financial complexity should be doing their own tax preparation. On the contrary, I will continue to hire my tax preparer every year for my own household. It just means that if you were a 20-something, just out of college or younger, with a single source of income and zero dependents and zero real estate and zero business interests, then you are a fine candidate for doing your own taxes, and Free Tax USA is a fine service. All others, get thee to a tax preparer, go.